Hello YouTube, and welcome to this little video which is kind of out of the blue. I recently completed my second playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077 and I just wanted to share some of my experiences about the game. This isn't supposed to be a very long video, but I'm doing this sort of unscripted, but then with a sort of bullet point kind of thing. I just wanted to let my own audience know whether you should play this game or not, and in what cases the game might be for you and what cases the game might not be for you. Now, there's a lot of hate on the internet about the game. Some of it definitely deserved, some of it maybe not fully deserved. So yeah, I just wanted to go over my experience with the game. I mean, normally you're here for Elder Scrolls lore, and trust me, that's coming. I recorded a very long video this weekend, and then another video for the 5th anniversary of the channel this weekend, so don't worry. In the coming months there will be some really great stuff on the channel, I promise. Currently working on a lot of that. Anyway, today we're talking about Cyberpunk. I played it in a free weekend that I had a few days ago, where we had some free days. And yeah, I played it for the second time, and I have to say, as a disclaimer, I really love this game. It's probably one of the best games that I've played, depending on what I'm looking for in said game. And the game had basically a lot of the things that I'm looking for in the game. Now, let's first start with the fact that this hating on this game is kind of valid. It has flaws, and from what I've heard, a lot was promised, and not all those promises there was delivery by CD Projekt Red. But yeah, alright, let's start sort of coherently with why you probably shouldn't play it. First is if you don't have the hardware that you need to play this game. I'm going to be frank here and say that CD Projekt Red should have never released this game on the standard Xbox One or PS4. I've seen videos of the game running on those systems and it just doesn't work. The engine is stretched so far that bugs are even worse on those platforms than on other platforms, so just don't get it on that. I personally played it on the Xbox One X, and a friend of mine played it on PS4 Pro, so I asked her what her experiences with the game were, and those platforms run it fine, just like the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Of course, you're not gonna be as smooth with the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, but I've completed the game twice on the Xbox One X now, and my friend completed it once on PS4 Pro, and it's serviceable, it's fine. You still get the best experience on the PC, like even lowest PC settings kinda look better than the high-end last-gen consoles, so the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, but it's playable. And sure, another reason not to play this game is if you're just completely about graphics and you only have the consoles, then probably don't play it. I've seen it run on PC, on Ultra, it's gorgeous there, but if you don't have anything to run it and you're only about graphics, just don't play this game. But if you're willing to look past those graphics, then there's definitely a pretty good game there. But I'm not fully done yet with the things that you might not want to play this game. There's also the fact that I went into this game completely blind. I had no idea what was said in the trailers, no idea what was said in the marketing. I just thought, hey, this game seems like something for me, so I picked it up and I really liked it. But a friend of mine, who is also in the Imperial Knowledge Discord server, he has watched basically all the marketing since the beginning. He still liked the game, but he did concede that there was a lot of things that CD Projekt Red did not deliver on. For example, according to him, they promised far more non-linearity in the game, far more choices, and you're not gonna get those a lot. Like, yeah, there is non-linearity and there are very important choices, but it's not bigger than something like The Witcher 3. It's definitely more consequential choices than, for example, Skyrim. And, well, I would even go as far as to say is that there's more than in The Witcher 3, probably. I think so. I think it's about the same. But it really isn't the non-linear kind of thing that people were expecting from this game. And that's what probably hurt this game the most. Because people expected so much of it, and then the game just didn't deliver on those expectations. And people were really bummed out and just didn't want to play the game. And I can't stress enough, that's fair. That's completely fair. Because if you're hyped for what was promised and you didn't get that, And disappointment is fair, and hate is fair. I'm not gonna tell you that you shouldn't hate on it. So yeah, if you really just want to go in for that which was promised, then don't play this game. And finally, another reason not to play this game, actually there's two of them. If you're looking for an open world with a lot to do in it, and I mean a lot like mini games, like secret areas, those kind of things, don't play this game just for the open world. The open world is relatively empty in comparison to other open world games. You'd better play something like Skyrim, but I mean, you already played that because you're watching this channel. Yeah, that's another part. You've probably played Skyrim, and I can assure you, the bugs really aren't worse than Skyrim and Fallout and any Bethesda game. In my experience, I've really only had 3 game-breaking bugs, which had me reload the game, or like my save, or had the game crash 3 times in my first playthrough, which was at launch, like literally on launch day. I started that one. And 1 only in my last play, which I completed last week. I've heard from people that it is a lot worse in some cases, and I have heard that it can be worse, but still not worse than something like Skyrim or Fallout. So if you've played those games and like them, don't worry about the bugs. I have to say though, I've played Assassin's Creed Valhalla a few months after launch, like I bought it around... not Christmas, I don't remember when I bought it. But when I got it, I encountered 4 game-breaking bugs in the first 5 hours, and I haven't heard anything about hate for bugginess on that game. So, like both, like it doesn't make Cyberpunk good, but I mean, just putting it in perspective here, like yeah, it could be much worse in that sense. And I mean, you're used to Skyrim or Fallout 4 if you watch this channel, so you're probably gonna be fine on the bugs. Now, why would you play in this game? Well, if you're looking for a story game with great and sometimes non-linear storytelling, like one act of the game is basically completely non-linear, and I have one friend who's currently playing the game, and he told me how he's playing it. I'm like, what? I didn't know you could do the quests in that order. But that's basically what the non-linearity amounts to. That you can do quests in different order that have to do with the main quest, and side quests also influence the main quest and influence the kind of endings you can get. I'm not gonna get more spoilery than that, because I think that this game is really best experienced completely blind. At least for me it was. So yeah, in that sense it is a non-linear game, and in that sense they kind of delivered on the promise, but I can completely understand why people would want more than that. And next to that, there is also a lot of lore, and I mean a lot. There's a lot of little shards, which are the sort of books from this game to pick up, which have lore about the world, and there's a lot of lore to pick up on in dialogue, in mission descriptions, and that kind of thing. Even on computers that you can find around the world. So yeah, in the lore aspect, this game is also completely fine. I would even go to say as far as that it's more than fine, because the lore is rich, it's plentiful in the game, and it scratches that lore itch that I have, obviously, because you watch this channel, a lot better than some of the games I'm used to playing. So, of course, excluding Elder Scrolls. So yeah, in terms of lore, you should really also play it if you're looking for a universe filled with lore. Now, you also should play it if you just want some decent shooter gameplay. Like, some people who are used to playing shooters, they might laugh at this and say, no, you're lying. Because the gameplay won't blow you away, and it's probably bad in comparison to like dedicated shooters like, I don't know, Call of Duty or Battlefield. I don't play those games. But it's definitely better than some games that I've played. Like, because I'm a sort of Bethesda channel, I keep referring to Bethesda games. Like, I have played some of Fallout 76, I have played Fallout 4, I have played Fallout 3. The shooting is all better than that, like, by far. And even go to say that it's probably better than some non-Bethesda games that I've played. I'm just looking at my games now, G4, and like, for example, Outer Worlds, it does definitely had better shooter gameplay than that, at least in my experience. Maybe you know, different experiences with that. Or even, well, I wouldn't say Wolfenstein, but probably comparable to Wolfenstein, experience with this. Anyway, it also has some good gameplay variety. Like, if you want, you can be sneaky and you can do stealth kind of thing. You can be a swordman, you can be a fucking Rambo with your machine gun if you want. You can completely rely on like the hacks and the cybernetics which you have in the game. There's a good ton of gameplay variety to be had there in the game, and I think it's decent in that aspect. Anyway, I think that this game, it had some great characters, it had great writing, it had a great story. And if you're looking for a good story game with an open world-esque thing to it and great side quests, because maybe some of you might disagree, but some of the major side quests with some of the major characters in this game were some of the better that I've seen in at least the last years. And I think it's definitely worth a play. Like, people keep acting like this game committed war crimes somewhere, I don't know. I definitely understand why people would be disappointed if the game didn't deliver on its promises, but I enjoyed this game so much. But that's because I really go for story games, and definitely when some of that storytelling is non-linear, like in this game, it really, you know, triggers my brain, and I really like it. So that's why this game probably went into the not top 10, well, maybe even top 10 games of all time from me. See, it's so out of the blue that my phone hasn't even been put on mute, which is not good for recording a video. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble. Again, if you don't have the hardware, don't play it. If you have a PS4 or standard Xbox, like one of those two, don't play it. If you have anything above the PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, then sure, play it. Check if your PC can run it. Low graphics on PC. Still looks pretty good in this game, still runs pretty good, but check if your PC can run it. If you're completely reliant on that which was promised by CD Projekt Red and all the marketing, yeah, the marketing department didn't do a good job for this game. They didn't deliver on all the promises, but that which is there, in my opinion, really is worth it. There has gone so much love into this game. Like, I'm so surprised by some of the things that are in there. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm so surprised by the things that have gone in there. Like, which I didn't need to do, but which are still there, and which are so clearly a product of love from these developers, that I really think it's just worth playing. And I'm sad that so many people just got burned out by all the hate that the game got online, which some of them really is warranted. Like, I'm not saying that you should enjoy the game or anything like that. I just think that if it seems up your alley, try it. If you think, well, this kind of game, especially in the way I try to describe it in a kind of nuanced way, if it sounds like your thing, give it a try. It's definitely not the worst game in the world. Like, I've played $60 games which had far less content, which were far worse, and which people just lauded on the internet, which they really liked. So, I don't know. The internet is weird sometimes. I'd say definitely give it a try, if it sounds interesting to you. And if you don't, I'm not telling you should play it, or that you shouldn't hate on the game. Your reasons for hate on this game probably are valid. And the way I always say it, we're all looking for different things in games and in our entertainment. If this game didn't scratch your itch, that's fine. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't complain about it, because you paid for the game and, well, you didn't like it. Sure. Or if you just, I don't know, I should stop rambling. Anyway, this was my sort of, well, I hope it wasn't too incoherent video on whether you should play Cyberpunk or not. I should go back to making Elder Scrolls lore videos probably. I have like 3 unfinished scripts right now on my computer, which I should probably finish. Anyway, I'll see all of you later, and let me know if you actually tried it after this video. Or let me know if I got something completely wrong in this video. Like the last thing I'll say in this video, if I forgot some really valid things to say, like on whether you should or should not play it, and you put it in the description, I'll probably pin the comment, or at least heart the comment. Because again, this is all based on my experience, which was all blind. Like, I watched none of the trailers or anything. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.